Hello, got another video with the Brawl Hub League matchup here, running Tamiyo against Yawgmoth Thran Physician on the draw, and a couple of counter spells that do hit Yawg. I think this is a keep here. Forsaken Crossroads can come in untapped on the draw, so I think this is going to be a pretty tough matchup with the amount of hand disruption that their deck runs. Here, I think I might just go for the Scry. Play this on white. So we have double white for Protector. Fabled Passage can get us a Forest. And another land. It might just be safest to keep this. But I feel like there's a part of me that feels like we need more action as well. Do we just want another untapped land? I think this game could be grindy enough. This is a really tough call. I'm going to go ahead and scry this one. I have 3 more lands in hand, and being on the draw here, I am worried about their pressure enough to want to find some more answers. Here, I'm tempted to just get rid of memory lapse. Question is, how good is the adversary? It's definitely not amazing in this matchup. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to get rid of the adversary here. I'm going to keep my double counter spell, make sure I keep Yawgmoth off the board for longer. Don't think I can afford to let go of a land given that I just scryed one to the bottom. If they play a 3-drop here, I think I'll probably memory lapse it. Although I'm not sure kind of what top end they have. All right, Dread Feud. This is why it's nice to have multiple counter spells. I think they probably take Stern Scolding, is my guess. It's the one card that will tax Yawgmoth rather than just have it be delayed by a turn. Seems like interesting. So they take memory lapse. I think that's a little surprising, but it's a reasonable choice. I mean, it counter spell that hits everything. It's going to be an annoying card for them at some point. Creature cards. What? Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, they don't have any creatures in their graveyard, so that doesn't work, my friend. Do I keep this card hidden here? I think it's too valuable to get the tap land out of the way, so I will just play with my hand face up for this turn. I obviously can't really cast Yawgmoth. The next turn I've got Protector plus a counter spell, which is a decent spot to be in here. Their pressure is not that fast. I'm going to get Tamiyo down at some point, and I don't have a lot of creatures that I care about, which Yawgmoth just preys on small creatures, but having a Planeswalker in the command zone might actually be a decent way to fight against Yawgmoth. I've honestly, I'm not sure I've ever played this matchup before, but the more I think about it, I think it might not be terrible. Take another of my counter spells. Found another one. Magic is easy sometimes. think I'll save myself 2 life. Grabbing a blue source. Here, this is annoying. They're forcing me to, if I play Protector here and they have a way to kill my creature before blocks, then I think it's a pretty bad situation. So they are going to be able to play Yawgmoth again next turn. It's pretty annoying. Let's see. Playing Tamiyo, it seems reasonable though. Just being able to get those cards. They're not going to be able to kill her with just those 2 creatures. So, this is the play. If they're somehow able to kill Tamiyo here, I'm definitely a little bit sad, but we'll still get 2 cards out of it, unless they have a Planeswalker removal spell in their hand. Freebooter. A lot of hand disruption. I think that's a pretty effective way to build Yawgmoth. Freebooter is an interesting one to play with Yawgmoth though, because sacrificing Freebooter gives me back that spell, and I'm not sure they really want to do that. Awkward position for them, trying to decide whether or not to attack Tamiyo and give me cards. They're clearly not going to be able to kill Tamiyo at this point. They know I have. They're going face. Very interesting. I'm a little bit confused why they split their attacks there. Doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But now the cards are just going to start flowing, and I put it on the freebooter instead of the court official. It's more likely to hold the court official back, knowing that I have ways to block it. So I think here, pretty happy going for Cemetery Protector, exiling. The thing about that's awkward here is that they don't have a good card that I can exile. It's either an instant or a sorcery. I'm not too sad about exiling an instant. I have a lot of instant speed stuff in my deck. I think I'm fine with trying to protect Tamiyo here. The loyalty's pretty relevant. Tamiyo ult is game winning a very large percentage of the time. Go ahead and eat one of the removal here. I think I'm fine just playing this out up to 1 creature, so they can stack their board regardless of whether or not I have anything to play against. This has got 4 toughness, which is not going to work for the giant killer. Sure, I think I'm fine playing the commando here. I can plus on the commando to attack and target their gutter bones. So if they want to trade, then I'm going to get 2 cards. Also get a card if they decide they want to attack in with gutter bones. So it just doesn't leave them with any great options here. They don't want to block with freebooter. I think they'd be normally happy to block with the gutter bones, but given the card draw for me. That's a less appealing option. Giant Killer, is it worth playing Giant Killer? I think we save Giant Killer for Shieldred or some other creature here. We're going to be drawing enough cards off of Tamiyo that I think it's worth just sitting. So they can attack with Freebooter without allowing me to draw cards. I think it's very reasonable to use Igonjo on Freebooter. I don't think I use Igonjo on the Gutterbones though, so. This is fine. I'll take the card. Now we have an answer to Yawgmoth, and Tamiyo ult is looking like a real problem for them. They sack Gutterbones. They are not going to have a creature to attack with next turn. And I think this is going to be pretty difficult. Pretty difficult for them. Am I still keeping? I think I'm still keeping Giant Killer back. It just gives them targets for Yawgmoth. I think it's just too unlikely that I'm getting value out of Giant Killer as a 1/2 tapper. Plus maybe I want to cast all 3 of my instant C spells right now. Okay. That's a combo piece, but I don't have a good way to counter that, given that my counter spells only tax their mana. They still have 5, so even these together are not going to get me there. But I am very happy to ult Tamiyo here and replay Tamiyo. Go ahead and create another creature to target with Tamiyo. And I think playing Agent Rafine here is good. At this point, I do want to close the game, but I'm still going to keep back the Giant Killer. Naked Yawgmoth. Sure. I think I let this go and see if there's a way. Let's see, can I pump? That's 3. Can't quite fight well enough. Might as well grab a card from their deck. Would have been nice to hit a removal spell. So here I'm just going to give Aaron and Giada more damage. Would really like to make sure that I keep Aaron and Giada around. And this attack works because if they block, then I will fight with Aaron and Giada, and then they'll lose Yawg here. Is this a human? Oh, this is a human. Wait. Oh no. So this is a samurai, so I can... They still die like this. Okay. A little bit of an oopsie forgetting the protection from humans sneaky line of text on Yawgmoth, but this game is pretty unlosable from this position, I would think. Discards 2 cards, you create a 2/2. Okay, that's fine. I don't particularly need land at this point. I think fine going ahead and getting the value here. And I keep pumping Aaron and Giada. Try to close out this game. Also try to protect, give them more to deal with from Yog's side. This should be game. Can ultimate Tamiyo again next turn. There's some combo line, I believe, with this card, but obviously that's not going to resolve for them. So no blocks. See if they somehow have a way to deal 6 damage. Oh, they get their gutter bones back. But, oh, it's an angel. Oops. That's funny. Exile target non-angel creature. Reading the card explains the card. I guess we just get it back with Niambi, so that seems like a reasonable way to go. And that is lethal. I feel like cast target non-legendary. Ah, okay. Some fumbles there, being able to understand how my cards work, but we'll take game 1. All right, here for game 2 on the draw, and a hand that does not have a green source. I don't think Fairy Mastermind is that great. Question is whether Mana Tithe might be good enough. I think this is going to be a mulligan. It's close. It's definitely close, but I think it's a mulligan. And this is very awkward. Do I have Mana Tithe again? I get a green source, but do I want? Man. So I go Port Town on 1, Mana Tithe on 2. Yeah, this seems just too bad with double blue spells. Pretty awkward start here. Kind of forced into keeping this one. And it's not terrible if I draw lands. It's certainly serviceable. I'm gonna put back Snapcaster. No spells in hand. No way to get one in the graveyard quickly. I think that I'm interested in casting Patriarch's Familiar here if they have any 2-drop that it makes sense for me to blank their text, just because my mana looks like it's going to be a challenge this game. If I don't draw a land in the next 2 draws, then I need to be able to use my mana every single turn, or else I'm going to fall too far behind. So unfortunately, no way to use it there, but we do draw a land. Can hit something. I think I like hitting the Gix. Don't have a creature in the graveyard, so Kami's not great. Yeah, it's definitely taking Gix here. Just their best 3 mana play. I don't know if they even want to cast Kami here, but like, what else are you doing? I think they have to. Yeah, so. Oh, and it can target itself. Okay. Battlefield target creature you control or creature in your graveyard. When a creature you control with greater mana dies, return it. So we're not going to get rid of you anytime soon, is what you're saying, huh? Could play the farmland in order to get Tamiyo down next turn, but I think I'm happier just playing a 3-drop here. I think it's going to be Ranger Captain. Give them something to think about whether or not they want to attack. They want to kill Ranger Captain with Bone Shards. I'm okay with that. It just seems like the safer play than Staff. Staff seems pretty greedy. It's probably Esper Sentinel. There's a reason to get something with 2 toughness. Yeah, I think it just has to be Esper Sentinel. Bone Shard, sack a creature, discard a card. I think that discarding this is reasonable. I mean, this card is not looking great for them. I understand why it's in their deck, but just not a card they really want in their opening hand all the time. Yeah, attacking makes sense for them. But maybe not their play. Next turn, I might just keep up Niambi. Killing, if me losing Ranger Captain takes away my ability to have Niambi next turn. So I think that I want to keep Ranger Captain and I kind of am interested in this Niambi Esper Sentinel line. Seems like a interesting option. The Sentinel also, does this go back to your great hand or to the great battlefield tap? When control or creature in your graveyard, when a creature you control with greater mana value than this dies, greater mana value. So it needs something greater than 3. I don't really have that. Wonder if it's not just Esper Sentinel here. Really tough spot. I kind of want to get Ranger Captain back with Niambi. They do know about it though. But this just kind of keeps the board presence. It's really just playing into the thing about it is just playing into the Yawgmoth plan. And maybe I just need to go for Staff. I am worried about the life loss, but given their hand right now, they have Answer. They're going to be able to tutor soon. All right, I've talked myself into Staff. I think this is the best way to win the game. Is I have to outvalue them. and we end the turn here. It's just not an ideal time for them to sack the Kami. So I think Esper Sentinel is annoying enough that they have to figure out, annoying enough to where they don't particularly want to use bone shards. Here I could double block. This is not an instant. Like, they can't get anything. I could also just take it and try to flip invasion. I'm kind of interested in that, to be honest. The life loss is, I think it's just too painful, actually. It's interesting to take this line to attack before playing Yawgmoth. Okay. And I think I am blocking. I'm just deciding which creature I want to block. The double blocking against Yawgmoth looks pretty bad to any kind of removal. So I guess I'm just happy enough trading. They give a guy -1. We still trade. There's no way they can shrink this enough, I think. So I'll protect my life total. They can tutor for a 1. Ooh, and they have, yeah. So now they really have good ways to pressure my life. Pretty difficult to beat Shieldred here. Can tap down these creatures and have up Niambi. But I do lose Tamiyo to Bone Shards. Seems like this has to be the play.
I would like to test a new hypothesis with you. I have many scrolls of data to share.
And just get in with the Sentinel. And I'll go ahead and play Halfling, but I think I'm going to keep back the Igonjo. It's maybe a way I can kill Yawgmoth. I need to draw a different answer to Shieldred, most likely, which pretty difficult. If there's some way I could get Range or Captain back, could have had my trusty human who can kill Shieldred. See what they draw. Could just be Fatal Push or Thoughtseize if they want to just kind of check all their boxes. I'm not really sure what they grab for 1. Most of their 1-drops are either Hand Disruption or Small Creature or removal. I think that just playing Gix here seems like a very strong option, so a little confused about what they think is better than Gix. Especially when I think this Muslim Secrets is just better when you have more creatures in the graveyard. Seems like they would have rather had some other small creatures to sack to Yawgmoth before they try to play this card. sack, okay. And they can get this back. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. I see what they're going for. There is the answer to Shieldred I needed. So, yeah, I think we just attack in. We're taking out Shieldred. And maybe we even hit. It's possible that I could take out Yawgmoth with Igonjo and then Fragment Reality afterwards, which is kind of like the ideal situation. They swing in with both after playing Yawg. I mean, that just seems like a really solid option on their side, but I have a pretty good response to it. So all of a sudden, this game is, I think, gonna look possible to me. This backside of Virtue of Loyalty really starts to make my board impressive. I think I just gotta pray that my my hit off of Fragment Reality is not good. So first, take out Yawgmoth in case whatever they get back off of Fragment Reality is worth sacrificing for them. I think you definitely sack Wanderer, put a counter on the Sentinel. I think it's got to be Sentinel here. It's much more annoying for them. Now they cannot get back the Wanderer, which is interesting. This card. Okay, so they make another creature. They can kill Esper Sentinel, or they can kill the Halfling. I don't think I care as much about the Halfling as the Sentinel. So definitely not using Light Shield here. Seems like an obvious sack at this point just to take out the Halfling given where they're at. That's annoying. So I want them to target Shieldred here, actually. Okay, they're targeting something in their hand. Underdog is not the card I was hoping to see. Definitely not the card. Not as interested in lands that hurt me right now. So, let's see. Am I playing Curse of Silence? I think it's pretty important that I keep Yawgmoth away. And now I have Virtue plus Niambi to try to get back Esper Sentinel. Discarding 2 cards. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. So I guess I have to play both of these now. Going down to 4. But I've got the blockers in place to survive this turn. And I think unfortunately I gotta pop the light shield array to have decent blocks. Protecting the life total, and this will allow me to play Virtue. If I could get a land, that'd be nice. No land. Man, playing Virtue now seems like it is not going to work. So we've got a instant speed threat. Just need to probably wait. I think this is a fine attack because I don't think they want to trade 2 of their creatures for my knight. Gosh, is there any way? Yeah, no, I'm just dead on board if I play Virtue. 4 against 3, 1 gets through. They can pump the Fen Lurker. So I guess no, I'm at 1, but yeah, I think it's way too crazy to go for this line. I'll attack all and go ahead and decline this. And what are we trying to keep here? Probably letting through the zombie. Or I think we keep that guy. We'll drop Niambi. This takes out the Shambler. Take 2. This guy gonna pump? I can't pump. Okay. Still alive. They lost a lot, but there's just so many ways I can die still. Any way they can get Shieldred back is basically lethal. Or oh no, Shieldred's exiled. Okay. So I don't have to worry about Shieldred. Is it Virtue time? I think it has to be, right? I can't play Tamiyo. So, end step, untap as well. Yeah, so I can swing. Right? Beginning of your end step, put a +1 counter, untap those creatures. That's pretty good. They do get something here, but that's 1 less draw with Yawgmoth. Virtue of Loyalty could win this game. This board is going to be able to close the game out very quickly. Each player, when a creature enters the battlefield, okay, so I can't play creatures. That's unfortunate. But I might not have to. Because I can play Planeswalkers. This, I take 1 here. So that means I cannot play another creature. Man, it's pretty brutal. But I draw cards. What am I drawing if I can't play creatures? Man. Maybe I just wait one more turn. Can sacrifice the land if I need to. See, they're going to be going... If they block, they still take 7. It's not lethal, but they're chumping from every turn forward, basically. I think I want to be able to just draw here. I think it's better to try to draw off Waterlogged Grove than to go to 1 and just risk something weird happening. Really close game. I think we do take that. And here's where I think I draw again, because I don't want to play this. Tamiyo does allow me to tap them down though, so yeah, I think I have to actually let this resolve. So either I draw a land and then I can play Tamiyo without losing life, or I can play something else. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to keep my land around here just because it's getting to the point now, I think, where if I draw a land, I'm pretty close to win the game. And there's the land. Exactly what I wanted to see. Here, go ahead and tap down these two, force them to block with Yawgmoth. They just sack their board. Might as well. But they still have to block with Yawgmoth, and they have no board. So I think this is a pretty difficult spot for them to find an avenue. I think, oh, this is a human. I see. The sneaky protection from human strikes again. I can never remember that. It's just kind of a counterintuitive addition. It doesn't seem to be something relevant to the rest of the card's abilities. Don't think Dread Fugue here changes anything. Not sure what the point of casting that here is. Seems like you need to get a creature, sacrifice that, somehow kill my board. There's the creature. Sacrifice. Somehow need to kill both of my creatures though. Yeah, good game. Down to 2. They're going out in style. GG's, my friend.